welcome to the Work Hates podcast. I'm Bron Lewis. This is Bretty Blake. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it is a shit boss, a dreadful workplace, or an insufferable colleague. And if you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You are the problem. Today we are joined by comedian, Tasmanian, and nurse Catherine McClintock.
Wow, it is such a strange accent for Tasmania.
Yeah, definitely. She'll be right. Right?
Is that your Australian accent there?
No. This is how I learned how to speak Australian. I was watching Water Rats when I was in Canada.
Fucking
cool
hell.
show. Cool show.
Aaron
Is
Peterson.
Water Rats international?
That's
amazing. Yeah.
And I heard Aaron Peterson say, "Get in the car to go to the farm," and so then that's how.
And that's what drew you to from Canada. You left Canada for that.
Well, no, that was Neighbours.
Oh, Neighbours made you leave Canada.
Jesse Spencer, sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
I used to work on Neighbours.
Did you?
Yeah. Man, I was a lighting technician / grip on there for 2 years straight.
Were you there when Joel Creasy was on?
I actually was.
Wow.
And the
Two
day
Perth
I
boys.
did my back in and was hospitalised, Joel Creasy was on set and didn't say fucking anything.
Why? Was it obvious that you hurt your back?
No, it wasn't. But so Joel was there and I said g'day to him, and then I was mucking around because I'm a fucking smart ass on set. Surprise, surprise. No one's shocked by that.
I can't.
So there was a shot bag on the ground and the gaffer's a little bit older. He's like 60. And I pushed him out of the way. I said, "Don't worry, mate. I'll get it. Let the young guys get it, not the old men." And I leant down, picked up the shot bag, and I went, "Oh, my back!" And my back slipped out. And he thought I was joking. I was like, no, fucking call an ambulance. And then I had to stand straight for like an hour until they could move me.
Stand?
Well, I got
Lie
back.
down.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. So I just had to lean against the wall. And then they didn't want to get an ambulance.
Why? Because Joel Creasy
I don't know. So
said
then
no.
I had to kind of get into the safety officer's car, but while staying straight. So I just lied in his boot, and they drove us to hospital.
I wonder if they were like, it looks like bad press if we bring an ambulance. Because you know when like a mobster gets shot and they're like, we have to take him to the vet. You know, we can't. Did they take you to a hospital or to a vet?
No, it's because Neighbours, they're tight cunts.
It's the insurance.
Yeah, it's the insurance thing.
Yeah.
I don't think. I also don't know. I don't think I wanted an ambulance as well because it's a bit dramatic.
Oh, were you trying to act tough in front of Joel Creasy?
Yeah, I was trying to impress Joel Creasy.
That is
no. I was just like, I didn't want to be. You don't want to be that person. You know what I mean?
What, that needs an ambulance?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
What?
You don't want to be like, oh, I need an ambulance.
You would be the worst patient in the world, and which actually brings up something very important about Catherine McClintock. Catherine, you are not only a comedian and a Canadian and a Tasmanian and all the
and
things.
A water rat fan.
A water rat.
That's the wildest.
Number one water rat fan. Can you believe we are able to land her? No, you are also a nurse.
Correct. Yeah.
Very cool. And so how long have you been a nurse for?
I don't want to say because
We'll give away your age.
No,
400
it's fine. I've been a
years.
nurse for about 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
you are older
So
than I
since you were
thought.
born. Day one.
Very good.
You came out of the womb and you're like, I actually don't mind this hospital. I might work here. There you
Is
go.
that my stethoscope? Yeah, great. Okay, so you've been a nurse for 20 years and you started in Canada?
Correct.
Okay, and then you moved over. And was it easy to transfer? Because I know that in teaching it's like hard. They're like, you can't possibly be a teacher in 2 different countries.
No, well,
Was it easy?
basically, I found an agency that would help me with all the paperwork. And then you tell them, I want to work in a public hospital. And then they put you in a private one where you have
good.
twice as much work. It's fine.
Oh, wow. So they're really good at it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And the difference between public and private, I have an idea because I've got like most of my family's in the medical world. Like my brother's a doctor, my sister, my mum.
You don't need to be a genius to figure it out. There'd be a lot more fighting in public, wouldn't there?
What do you think?
I could be wrong here. I just thought it'd be like meth heads and me.
It's just when you're there, yeah. It's just when you're there. But like, is it? They over drug people in public, right?
Well, they can go to private too. Okay, so here's the difference. Better food. They have carpet on the floor.
Ooh, nice.
No. Why? What do they do with the spilt things? Heaps of spillages, Bretty.
Yeah, but it'd be like a nice bit of carpet in the hallway or something.
No, it's in the rooms. Carpet tiles.
Carpet tiles.
You can imagine when people have accidents, there's some sort of cleaning process that meets accreditation standards.
Oh,
I don't
the
know.
tiles, so you can just like replace them.
You can if you have to, but
You
I
must
think
have
they have like a special cleaning thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. It's gross. It's
That's gross. And so you prefer to work in a public hospital?
I do, because Canada
Why?
is all public, so I just,
Is it?
ideologically agree with that.
Oh, it's like a communist state. Okay, that's very good.
Yeah, well,
That-
no, the people who have money just go down to the States and get it done. It's kind of like people here go to Thailand to get something,
Oh, right. Yeah, my friend did that recently. She went
What?
to Thailand to fix her boobs.
Oh, my.
So much cheaper. She
Well,
said, what?
I know someone who went and had
Yeah.
to go back because
Oh, 'cause
one
they
of them
stuffed
went
it.
adrift. Had an old wonky titty. You had a wonky eyes. One of them went adrift, and they had to go back and get it redone.
Yeah, one tit on the platform, one on the train. Was that-
One on the platform, one on the train.
That's when someone's eyes go fucked when they're drunk, and someone's keeping an eye on the platform and one on the train.
Right.
And that's what she was doing with her tits. That sounds actually
Mine
pretty
just do
useful.
that naturally without
Okay, bragging.
anything.
Bragging, huge brag.
They're all over the shop naturally. I don't need to go to Thailand for it.
So she had to go back to get her
Went
boobs,
back,
boobies
'cause
fixed.
They kind of
One went
went
adrift.
askew. Yeah, had to go
Wow.
twice. And I was like, well, that's
Two
why-
holidays. That's pretty good.
2 holidays. I was like, that's why you don't spend $2,000 to get your tits done. Get it done 10 grand here, you know?
It's more than that, Brady, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, 20 grand, I reckon.
20 for your tits. Fuck
Yeah.
off. It'd be like 5, wouldn't it?
What? So you think it's half the price that you started with?
Yes.
No, it's like 20.
No. Oh, no, I can't imagine it being 20.
Catherine,
You would
do
know,
you know?
Catherine.
No, I don't know.
How do you not know? You work in nursing. That'll be the first day one. How
First
much
thing.
titties?
How much are titties? Excuse me, doctor. Excuse me. First things first. How much are titties?
Yeah.
Also, where's the tea room?
Tea room and titties. 2 T's, you know? That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you prefer to work in Australia.
Yeah.
You prefer to work in public.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But
There's
even though
more
Brady
nurses,
goes
it's
oh,
It's
okay.
ratioed, so you. I mean, it's fucked wherever you are. Basically, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard job. But in public hospitals, you're more adequately resourced generally.
Yeah.
In public you are. In private you're.
In public, yeah.
Public,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I
mum.
never thought that.
Yeah, no, my mum was like, mum's like a staunch. She was a public nurse that has been for 50 years, and then she had to get her knee replaced, and because like you have to, her insurance was like, oh, you can get private, and she was like, oh, I've never been. Okay, fine. Let's see what it's like. Let's see what it's like on the other side. So she went and got her knee replaced, and she was so upset with the level of nursing. She was like, she had to like shower herself, and she was like, she couldn't move. And she was like, she had to like drag herself to the shower. She said the food was shit. She said there was like one nurse who was like running the entire ward, and she said her English was really bad. And I hope that doesn't come off racist, but she was like trying to communicate with something with this woman. There was no one there that was saying like, no, this is what she means. So Mum was like, this is not, like, how wild is it that we pay more for worse
service?
For worse service,
Yeah, right.
In the public hospital, if you need something from a doctor, like it's available all the time, and you know, like you just page or you ring a doctor, which is like a lower level doctor kind of thing, or like they're probably trained, but it's just, you know, a
They might be trained. I don't really know.
a resident
asked.
or a registrar. Whereas in the private hospital, if you need something for a patient, you have to ring the consultant in their house,
Oh yeah.
whatever the time of night. And so people don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, like in the movies when they're lying in bed next to their wife, and their wife's
Yeah.
like, who is it? And it's like, that fucking nurse, Catherine McClintock again.
Yeah.
She wants to know how much are titties.
Because you have to remind doctors to do everything. So
Oh, yes. Okay.
yeah.
Now I have some questions here.
Okay.
What is the worst shift you've ever had on nursing? The worst shift you've ever had? Because I was one of our goals, Brady's and my goals, when we did this is we have to get a nurse on.
Yeah.
And we know that nurses have to be like quite careful about what identifying someone. We're not going to do that. If you've had Catherine as your nurse before, she's not going to out
These
you.
are Canadian specific stories.
Yes, but and we never reach Canada. we're actually banned. Our podcast is banned in Canada, so it's fine.
Yeah, totally. Although I'm happy to share something from here. But yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, maybe you will be called out.
But
you
no,
are not
I don't want to lose my job, so
You won't.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So we're excited about getting a nurse on. What is the worst shift you've ever had? I imagine it's much harder than anything Brett's done.
There's so many to mention.
Where do I begin?
I have specific scenarios. Okay. Well, I've had a man wanking into a urinal.
Oh my
In
god!
front of me.
I told you not to bring it up. I thought you couldn't out people on this. Fuck.
Did he have a sore back? Was he talking about neighbours? Did he arrive in a car?
Refused to get in the ambulance, but I need to have a wank immediately.
Yeah, that one was Canada actually. So
What did he
you're
know
off
you
the
were there?
hook. I'm not sure he was all there, but
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So
Then we
he's in the waiting room to go in to get treated,
No. He was on the ward. He was on the
right.
ward. So like that was I've worked on wards, and then I've also worked in emergency.
Right.
So like yeah.
Oh, which one's better?
Oh, I like
Which one's
emergency.
worse? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the ward's worse because like people hang around for days, and if it's someone that's like really painful to look after.
Yeah, Brady.
And it can also be like super sad. Like I had this
Yeah.
one case, and let's keep this vague. But basically, he had to have his penis removed.
So it was Brady.
Oh yeah, I've transitioned. Yeah.
So there was a catheter coming out. This big concave spot. This is very sad. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Wait,
fine, it's
willingly
fine.
wanted it removed?
I cannot tell. No. But I
Okay.
cannot tell you any more details than that.
Okay.
I
You
can
told me
tell-
enough. I don't need to know any more specifics.
Well, here's the part as a comedian that I'm just like, so he also had delirium.
Okay.
And so he'd be calling out, "Where's my dick?" And I'd have to remind him several times a day what happened.
I put
We
it in my
removed your
handbag.
penis.
It's in my handbag. You
He's
can have it back when
it
you're
was so
good.
sad.
Check your key ring. It's there.
Yeah.
Got it in that little laminated in a little
shit.
cube.
And he'd be fine now. He's living a normal life. It's fine. However,
That would actually suck. They're going like, "Fuck, where's my dick? We've removed
Over-
it." Okay, now later,
over
where's
and
my
over.
dick? That's a nightmare.
that's
Fuck.
it's Brady's nightmare.
And
That is.
You know, I hope you dream that maybe.
No,
So you had to help this poor bloke out. And I can't imagine ever having to explain just once where someone's dick is, and for the fact that you had to explain it over and over again. Your job is wild.
And knowing that he wasn't going to remember.
like when you get it with a kid, like got your nose, you're like got your winky. It's here.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Okay, all right. So that's pretty bad.
That's one. That one's pretty bad. Yeah. I also had a notable Australian broadcast figure. Would
Okay.
you call him?
Okay.
Carl Sandilands.
No. More to do with sport. Sport.
Okay.
I could probably say his name
who
without
cares?
getting in
He won't
trouble.
care.
You don't
He
have to
won't
say
come
his
for
name.
it.
We haven't pressured you to do it.
He wasn't a patient. He came to visit someone at a private hospital. This is another reason I don't like private hospitals. When I first came to Australia, I was thinking of, do I want to go to Hollywood and work at, like Cedar Sinai and look after famous people? That sounds exciting. And then I thought, no, that would be a terrible job because famous people would be horrible patients. Yeah. And
Horrible.
So then I came here to work at a private hospital, and Sam Newman came as a visitor.
Oh, he'd be so mean.
Well,
I reckon he'd be nice.
Are you off your head?
He's a gentleman, I heard.
he made me cry. Okay.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It was my first year here, and I had no idea who he was, which probably
Good.
made it worse.
No, that's perfect.
How did he make you? What happened? What?
He just reamed
Did you
me
close-
out over something.
Did
Yeah.
did you close his golf course at COVID?
He was wearing striped pants. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, golf. It
yeah,
did
okay.
scream
All right,
golf.
yeah, golf does upset him
Yeah.
a lot.
So you were looking after someone to do with him, and then he got angry at you for the way you were doing your
I was
job?
just happened to be there. I can't confirm that I was looking after someone.
Right, you were there,
Yeah.
and then either way, you copped the grunt of it.
Correct. I had no idea who he was.
Was
and I
he
cry
like-
easily if I'm honest, but he really tore into me. Yeah.
Was he like, how much are titties? And you were like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking no!
None of us know.
I'm sure
especially
he's
Brett.
paid for some titties in his time. Do you
Yeah,
think?
I didn't. Yeah, look.
I like to think it's Sam Newman. That's the rumor I'm spreading. Who got his penis removed? Sam has no dick. Well, he can't get me. He's like 80. I'd bash him. Surely.
I'm not going to
No, you can't.
No.
You can't. But I can assume.
Yeah, I imagine he would have been really cross. Yeah, imagine what we're dealing with famous people would be there because they're like, no, I don't get sick because I'm too important. So fix me quickly and let me leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so private hospitals are out. So public hospitals, what is another dreadful thing that you have seen? Because I imagine I ask nurses a lot of questions until I regret it.
Yeah.
So what kind of questions do people ask you? Just the regular people like Brady and I.
Okay, so when I was younger, from people who are my friends, I'd get questions about like female things, and I'm just like, I do not want to be answering this question.
Oh, like they're for themselves.
Is it normal to be bleeding out of your anus aggressively? You're like, I don't need it. Just asking for a friend. And that friend is me.
No, the worst is people ask me for advice and then they don't follow it.
Oh.
Like my parents, my husband.
That
most
is
people.
annoying.
Yeah, I'm very
That is
smart,
annoying.
and they don't listen.
They don't listen.
Yeah.
We don't give them the right answer, and the right answer is $20,000 is a pair of titties.
Correct.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So stop asking. So, has someone ever come in saying that there's something up their bottom? That's one of me. That's got to be the funniest thing for me.
Something in the arse?
Something I've fallen over and
And a toy car, a rubber fist, and a section of a Hot Wheels track fell into me.
You mean like a light bulb?
Yeah.
okay, a light bulb.
Hypothetically.
Oh my God!
Really?
What an idea! That sounds so
What an idea.
dangerous.
Bing, like a light bulb going off. Was that the joke
was the
there?
joke.
That was a joke? Okay,
Oh.
great. Just check. But, I mean, having known a light bulb, the structural integrity of a light
Yes.
bulb, like looking at it right now, I mean,
It depends on the shape, I suppose.
like you could do a long one. Oh, I'm thinking about...
They're all so fragile.
They're all
though.
fragile. Maybe that's part of the appeal.
Oh, like the guy in the jar. Remember we had Ed Cavalier on once, and he, for some reason, kept talking about, and we loved having him on. I don't know how it came up. 2 girls, 1 cup, 1 man, 1 jar. Is that it?
Yes.
And it was a man who did lots of things with a jar.
Put a jar up his ass.
Okay.
But the jar to me...
But it broke, didn't it?
More structural integrity. Cause
Yeah, absolutely. It's thick.
Whereas
yeah.
that is so
thin. I imagine
but
that's
the
thing.
risk factor of going like maybe it's going to shatter in my arsehole. That's
Of course
what's
it was
exciting.
going to. Did it? Yes, it did. She's nodded. Okay, she's not said it, but it did. Ow! Getting that, and also like, how do you?
Why would you want to ruin your shits for the rest of the month?
Yeah.
You'd never poop right again.
But
You'd
maybe
have to
that's-
remove a section. Would you have to cut out a bit of the anus?
Well, see, in emergency, we just send them off to theater and then we say bye-bye. And so
Yeah, but
Good luck.
I understand that that's what you do. You're like, all right, there's no way you're
there's
not following
there's-
up on that.
There's theater involved, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be wanting to keep a close eye on the guy who put a fucking light bulb in his arsehole. I'd be following him to the car park
You're not
after his
allowed
weird-
to. Like,
Really?
Yeah, no, it's like a confidentiality thing. You're not allowed.
So once you pass them on to a different section, that's it. You can't go.
You don't know.
Correct. Unless you
Oh.
go through like official channels to kind of find out.
I
good
reckon
to
there'd be
know.
tea room gossip for sure. You'd be
Oh
like, what
yeah,
happened
you'd
to
have
fucking,
to laugh about it. You'd
what happened
have
to
to.
old fucking mate over
What do
there?
they call it? It's like dark humor. Like what
Yeah.
do they call that? What's the other word for that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Where you guys have to, you have to laugh at
You
the
do.
stuff
It's a
that
way
you've
of
seen.
like debriefing and
Yeah. That's like how we as comedians, we have to laugh about the bad gigs because you're never
Yes.
going to like, you don't get together and talk about the good gigs
No.
because that's
well,
boring.
a few comedians do and they're psychos.
Oh my God, the worst. But you get together and you talk about the bad ones because then you're all like, that's funny. At least I'm not alone when I do a shit one. And when you do a shit one, you're like, well, at least I'm going to be able to talk about this with some other comedians and we're all going to laugh about it. I guess that would be the same thing with nursing. It's like you don't come in and be like, hey guys, I just saved someone's finger. La 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 la. They'll be like, oh great, Catherine. Who cares? You'd be like, hey guys, guess what? A man came out and all his fingers fell off and then he blamed me for it. Yes, I cut them off, but who cares? I'm very tired. I'm overworked and underpaid. I'm just a nurse. So imagine
Sometimes
that's
you'd like to do that, but yeah. I mean, I've seen an arm kind of ripped off.
wow.
Is that the
Yeah.
worst injury you've seen? An arm ripped off?
arm ripped off?
Yeah, me personally, yeah.
And can I ask how it happened?
Like an
Don't-
accident? A car accident?
Yeah.
Car
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
This is your future, Britty.
What? I'm going to fucking die in a car accident, am
No,
I?
you've said, I've heard you say this before, you know how you're going to die.
Oh, yeah, I'll die in a forest somewhere off a motorbike. or
On a
something.
motorbike.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so Brady knows. But I love that you're not like, I will be injured. I will die. So you won't have to see him, Catherine.
Yeah, you
Don't
won't have
worry
to see
about
me.
it.
I'll be out there.
He'll be out there. He'll be eaten by the
By
wildlife.
coyotes or something.
Coyotes, where are you? Who fucking knows? How far have
So
you
the
ridden?
worst injury, so a guy came in from a car accident and his arm was fucking like nearly completely ripped off.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that was an emergency when you worked in emergency?
Correct, yeah.
I reckon that would be the worst section because his car crashes would be
Yeah.
so horrific.
Yeah. I mean, I worked in Tassie, so in a like country area. In
A lot of
Tassie.
chainsaw injuries.
Yeah, well, yes, actually.
What?
Yeah.
my
Well, there's a
God.
lot of trees there.
Loving.
And also, you're in the land of she'll be right. I'll just like squint instead of wearing the proper, like.
Oh, yeah.
Me every
safety
time I angle
equipment.
grind.
Exactly, that's it. That's
One
exactly
eye,
right.
look away, that'll be right. When I weld,
That's what my husband does too. Yeah.
just white. Oh, fuck. If I stand in the sun again.
Oh, okay. All right. So I also wanted to ask you this. What kind of patient are you? Now that you know what it's like to be a nurse, what kind of patient are you? Because my mum is a dreadful patient.
In what way?
She's doesn't want anything. Like the nurses will come in. Like, I mean, her
I reckon
experience
your
in
mum
the
would have
pub.
a few demands. I need to go out for a cigarette and I
Yes.
need a wine.
Correct. Yes. Can you put it into the IV bag?
Yeah.
No, mum's like, so the nurses will say like, have you had your medicine? And mum will be like, yes, and she hasn't.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't need that stuff. She's impossible. It's
Okay.
actually the worst.
I am not that bad, but I am very much because I have health trouble. So like I'm at the hospital all the time for myself as well.
Sure.
And so I am like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say
You don't want.
anything.
Also, you don't want to like
like,
ruffle
so if I
anyone's
know that
feathers.
they're doing something incorrectly,
Oh, you don't say anything?
no.
Oh my God.
I reckon that's the first thing I'd be doing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm about to die because there's a fucking air
My-
bubble in the line.
my
I
literal
don't want to say
job-
anything and be rude.
My literal job is quality and safety. But no,
Yeah.
oh no, I shouldn't have said that. 'Cause I want to keep my
No
job.
one will know what that is. No one, especially Brett might.
Well, no. I mean, sometimes I kind of find a way to around it to do it kind of in a passive way, I suppose.
okay.
But yeah, generally, I don't want to be that person, and I guess most nurses probably don't want to be that person.
So what about when you had babies and you had to be you can't really be you can't really be quiet when you're having babies.
No, I moved
Brady.
like a cow. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, were you not? I was annoyed at I had the worst midwife.
I had a terrible midwife too.
Okay,
She's like, oh, it's that bad, is it?
Yeah.
It's a baby coming out of my fucking pussy, dude. It's a human coming out of there. It's got to hurt.
Yeah.
So were you annoyed at them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't say anything because you were like, oh, she's working as hard as she can.
No, I kind of.
Let her have
Let
it.
it go.
Nah, I don't remember a lot about what. I
remember.
That's
probably
like my
did
hospital
like,
trip
like
visit,
get the
'cause they gave me
epidural.
opioids and I
Get
was
the epidural now.
I think I had an epidural for my back. I had something. They wouldn't, and they can't. When I went there,
maybe they gave you ketamine.
oh, that's why I was
Or
hanging
you-
around.
Yeah.
They gave me
They do. They
something.
give ketamine a lot these days. Like,
And I was
a
out
lot
for
of-
like 4 hours and like, we can't fix your back. And I'm like, I'm not ready to go home yet.
No,
And then
it's
they're like,
unsafe.
and I was like, I know you needed the bed, but my back, I can't walk or whatever. And then they're like, we'll give you more oxy. And then they gave me more
Whoa.
oxy and I was like, okay, now I'll leave. Thank you.
Wow.
I waited till I got like a second dose. I had to wait like a 4 hour window before they.
Yeah.
I waited to that another 4 hours, and as soon as they gave it to me, I was like, "See ya."
Yeah, it's like you're like a drunk at a bar who goes, "I will not leave until you give me one more drink,
shot.
one more shot, and then I'll go."
And they knew exactly what I was waiting for as well. I was like, "Dad wants some oxy." And yes, I used to have a problem with it.
Oh no,
What are the
Brady!
odds? Love tramadol
But you're
for a
fine
while.
now.
Yes,
It's
correct.
good stuff.
Yes, and the reason why we've asked you on, Catherine, is because Brett would like a script filled.
Yes, can you do that?
No, nurse practitioners can, but I don't have that power.
You've got the keys to the cabinet,
I
don't you?
don't have that much power. No, I don't. And they really they count everything these days, and there's machines that
Oh
dispense
my
it.
lord!
It
There's
sounds
so many
pretty
rules.
good.
You can't
I
even take advantage of
know.
the system anymore.
It sounds safe to me, you absolute drug fiends. Oh my God, you guys are bonding over how safe the hospital is these
I
days.
fucking hate it, dude.
Oh my God,
That's why
I love
when
it.
you do removals and it was a little old lady who would check the cabinets.
I'm amazed. Like I went into, I went to the doctor and I asked for, I had a sore back, and Brady helped me out. I said, I went to the doctor. I was like, I've got a sore back. Instead of being like, yeah, this is the place to like for a good physio or whatever, no referral. He just gave me like oxys.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't want these.
They're not supposed to do that these days, but
They're pretty.
so
they don't hand them
dangerous.
out very willy-nilly
I
like they
didn't
used
even
to a
ask
couple
for
of years
them.
ago.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
If I
Well, they
went
can't
in-
do any. They can't go. Oh, they go with the back thing. They can't fix your back.
No,
you
they
haven't
can't.
broken anything.
yeah.
Yeah, but they can be like these. I think a physio.
No, they go to a physio tomorrow. Here's some pain relief. That's all they do.
Well, I don't
And
want
they
that.
fuck you off.
Have you never seen Dope Sick?
What's
You watch Dope Sick? You should watch Dope Sick. You've never seen it. It's like how OxyContin, how it started, how it turned into like, you know, what do they call it? It's like the rich man's heroin or something
Was that
like that.
Netflix movie?
Yeah, as a
or doco?
series.
Yeah, I think I
It was
watched it.
bloody good.
It was traumatic. It
Yeah.
fucked up so many people's lives.
Exactly.
And at the end of it, I was like, fuck, I really want some Oxy.
That's
I didn't learn anything
mental.
from it.
That's like I watched Super Size Me whilst eating KFC.
Yeah. That's every time. Seriously, like, fuck, I could really go a Whopper right now.
Yeah,
Or something, you know?
actually, I'm starving.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now,
Okay.
we know that you are a nurse, but we also know
Yes.
that you are a comedian as well. Can you tell us
Yes.
the worst gig you've ever had?
Okay,
Well done.
it was at the Axemen's Hall of Fame in
What's the-
Latrobe, Tasmania.
You and axes. Axe injuries.
Was
Axemen's
there an
Hall of
axe
Fame.
injury? Have we had an axe
No, we
injury?
talked about chainsaws.
Oh,
yeah.
You
No,
like
it
weapons.
was for the Tasmanian country agriculture women's something or other.
Oh my God, they
So
say.
And there were,
Association.
so
like
picture
female farmers.
So for comedy, they say it's best if you're like in a smaller room and people are like together in a low ceiling and it's dark and blah blah
Yes.
blah. So it was a giant room, bright as day,
Oh yeah.
a microphone that didn't work. And
Oh, yeah.
and like politicians and people that I worked with, and I had only been doing
no.
comedy for about a year and a half.
No,
How
work
ma- how long-
colleagues coming to your comedy gig, there is nothing
No.
worse.
How long did they want you to do?
They wanted me to do
2.5 hours.
15 minutes.
15 minutes, and you've been doing comedy for a year.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ooh.
God! In front of your colleagues. I had this. My worst ever bomb. I'm sure I've told it before. Worst ever bomb was I just started comedy. It was my 6th ever gig, and Hoops had said to me, "Oh, I can get you a gig. I can get you a spot." And she said to this guy, out in like Mitcham, "Hey, I'll do the gig, but can Bron come as well? She's a new comedian." And he was like, "Can she do 5 minutes?" And she goes, "Yeah, she can do 5 minutes, easy." Thank you for your belief in me, Claire Hooper. It was misplaced in this moment,
You were
and
wrong.
I was still at the stage. I was like, I could, you do a set, and you're like, okay, that went okay. Instead of like getting it right and doing it again and again and again until it's right, I was like, well, that's good. I'll just do something else now. Maybe something else will work better. So I just kept changing. So in the 6th gig, I think this was my 6th ever set as well, brand new. So I didn't drink for 2 weeks in the lead up to it because I was like, I want to be quick. I want to be smart. I want to remember this word for word because it was right at the start where I was learning my things word for word. A guy I shared this office with in the school that I was teaching at, he said, "Hey, I noticed on a poster that you're coming to my area. I'm like, my wife and I are going to come." And I was like, "Awesome! You should you should come to my gig. What could go wrong?" And then him and his wife, they got babysitters. They came out to this gig. Hoops, I think, was the MC. She did really well. The first comedian got up, Ellen Bogan.
Oh, yep.
She crushed and I was so excited. I was in the green room going, listen to that. I'm going to get the exact same response. I go out after Eve and I could tell Hoops looks a bit nervous for me because to follow a crush, we know now is not good.
You can ride the wave, though.
You sometimes can, but sometimes they just want that person to come back out.
That's
and in
true.
my situation, absolutely. I went out feeling so excited. My first joke fell flat because it just was not good. And I was like, that's weird. Maybe I'll get them back. And then I did not get a laugh. There was 300 people in this room and I could not get a laugh. But the worst thing is that I couldn't see most of them, but there was like a beam of light that was hitting the guy I worked with and his wife. So I could just see them and they looked so worried for me. Like they looked so embarrassed.
Concerned.
They were looking at each other. Then they were looking at me. I could feel people talking to each other like, she's not very good. What is this? Are we, and so the longest 5 minutes of my entire life was bombing and watching him. And then I got off stage and then I had to be I had to like see all the other comedians and they would try and do that thing where they were, it's okay, that wasn't a bomb. I think I heard someone laugh at the back at one point and I was like, I think that was definitely a bomb. I think it was a bomb, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh my God. The end of the night, my work colleague walked past with his wife. His wife couldn't even look at me.
Oh no.
She couldn't even look at me. And he went, are you okay? And I went, yeah. And he went, oh, and I tried to in the moment go like, it's usually better and he was like, I'll see you at work tomorrow. And I was like, no. I had to share an office with him for the rest of the year. And then every other gig from then on had been a little bit better. But every time he'd be like, oh, you got a gig tonight? I'd be like, yeah, it's going to be better than the one you saw. The one you saw was actually really it was actually really bad. I did really bad, but it's actually usually way better than that. Like I'm actually better than that. It's all right that you saw me. But as if he believed me. No. Like he still now would be like, I can't believe she's still trying to do that. No. Hell. And I just weird. And a bomb, I reckon I could have washed that bomb off way easier if I didn't know anyone in the room. If I didn't have to share an office.
So much better when I don't know. I can do like hundreds of people that I don't know and I'm fine and I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
If I know, if there's like half a dozen people and there's comedians in the room that I want to impress.
Oh, yeah.
Shit scared.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
So what happened at the Axman's gig? Just fucking copped it in the face?
Pretty similar to that. Like as in the people that I knew were kind of averting their eyes. No. I made the the premiere of Tasmania. You laugh. I don't know what that says about their sense of humor, but it was
only laugh you got?
The only laugh I got. Yeah.
For the whole 15 minutes, one laugh from
15 minutes.
Fuck.
That is so long. And also, if you can see all of their faces and you're like, please just smile. Like a smile would help.
Give me something.
Man, I did a gig on a boat and not a cruise ship, a gig on a fucking dinghy in the Sunshine Coast. There was 25 people sitting around this small vessel and I had to bring my own speaker.
What?
You had to bring your speaker on to the boat. The boat doesn't have a speaker.
Oh.
Yeah, it's from the clubs
okay.
or whatever.
Oh
and then they've just got full set of lights. There's no stage light. And then just at a random point, after an hour, it's like a 90-minute cruise. An hour, they're like, all right, so do some comedy on the way in. I'm like, hey guys, they're like, what the fuck? It's a comedy, it's marketed as a comedy cruise, but it's like, I'm like,
are you the only one doing comedy?
Yes. Well, last time I did it a year ago and there was two of us on there and it was fucking mucking around. It was lots of young people. We got maggot beforehand. Yeah. We had a great time. But this was a little bit older people drinking Chardonnays and stuff. And there was 3 nurses who I actually got on like a house on fire with.
Yeah. Nurses love
drinking.
Yes.
Fucking oath they do.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good audience
usually
members.
Up for comedy.
Yeah. Nurse Georgie Carroll has the best audiences in the world. Like she's like, my audiences are the best because they're all nurses. She's like, my audiences are the best. I've been in her audience. Not only is Georgie Carroll so funny, but her audience, she's right. Her audiences are the best because they come in packs and they're so excited and like anything that's vaguely about celebrating nurses, they're like, yes!
I don't have a lot of nursing gear.
You should.
Get it.
Well, I don't want to, she does it so well. It's funny because if I do a corporate for nursing or medical type things, I'm just like, have you heard of Georgie Carroll? And they'll all clap. They're so excited. I'm like, well, she's expensive, so you've got me.
Yeah.
You guys cannot afford her. Long story short on that one, I just got away with it because I told a story about me being on, someone asked about Deal or No Deal. I was like, do you want me to tell you this yarn? Got away with it, but I was roasting one of the guys one of the dudes was in the Navy and his brother was also a guy who worked in the boating industry as a whale watcher. So I was shitting on the whale watcher because the mum was there. Funny. But one of the nurses came up to me. She clearly had a fucking skinful at the end. She's like, just remember, I know you're having fun. I know you're having fun up there, but he is in the Navy. And I was like, yeah, just remember to say, thank you for your service.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
incredible.
Okay. And because we were getting along like a house on fire, and I was like, I will do that. And then when he left the boat, I said, thank you for your service, sir. And then I dragged him in. I said, you're 19. You've never been to a real war, you weak cunt. You've done fuck all. Now get off the boat. And the lady's like, Dad! The nurse tried to hit me. And I was like, oh, who gives a fuck?
He
loved it.
He loved it.
Thank you for your service. You've done fuck all, cunt.
19, yeah,
He's
exactly. He's done nothing. Come on.
No.
He's having a fine time. Also, you should have said thank you to your service to the nurses.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
Good.
we do appreciate that,
Yeah,
actually.
I don't think anything was... going into their head though, because they had so many fucking.
They're
One of
so
them was holding
thirsty.
2 drinks the whole time. I reckon they had 9 wines in an hour.
Yeah.
We need it to forget. Okay.
You do, they do. They actually do.
Yeah.
But also, do you know what nurses? I've noticed this about nurses is you don't because you are privy to so much gross stuff all the time. You don't know what's gross anymore.
No, like my husband is constantly accusing me of neglecting our children just because I don't panic about the same things like that he panics about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they're like bleeding. You're like, they're gonna survive.
Totally. Yeah, because mum was growing up with my mum as a nurse. We never went to like the doctor or hospital. Probably, I'm astounded. Mum's 5 kids have survived. We are all like every day when we like every single time we see each other, we're like, how are we all alive? Because Mum's like, no, the medical world is useless. It's dumb. I'm like, that is your job, Mum.
My arm is not attached.
Yeah.
Get a fucking needle. I'll do it myself.
My sister Amy, she's like a nurse as well. So she runs Mum's nursing business, and they talk to each other like at the dinner table. I remember being younger when we were at the dinner table, Mum and Amy just talking about the most rank stuff. Be like, how's Mr. Whatever? Yeah, oh God, his catheter fell out today, and there was just piss everywhere, and everyone's like trying to eat their pasta bake. It's like, fuck, Mum, this is yuck. This is gross. And Amy's like, oh, I redressed this person's wound. It was weeping. Oh God, I was like, I know. I'm like, this is not normal talk, you guys. I think it's because you guys see this stuff so much, you forget
like
that
there were
it's
maggots
actually
in there.
yuck.
Not intentionally.
Oh my
God.
Maggots in a wound. Have you seen that?
Yes.
What happened?
You just wrap it back up and then send them off to their consultant.
And say, excuse me, there's maggots in that one.
Yeah.
This one's got maggots in it.
This was, no.
Did they know? Were they like, it's wriggly in there?
Hey, why is my arm jiggling? There's maggots in there, mate.
I've lost weight. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Most of my
I mean,
arm's
there are
gone.
therapeutic, like, maggots that they...
Yes, to eat the gangrene. Was that right?
Yeah.
What do they come and eat the...
Really? They do that shit nowadays, do
They
they?
eat the dead tissue.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
they eat
you
the
got a
good
section in
tissue
the
as well?
hospital with the jar full of maggots.
Well, I
and
don't
you're
know
like,
that
"Get the
they use
maggots."
it a lot, but...
Yeah, because I remember it was like an olden day thing. And what, do they still do it?
Leeches. I thought it was leeches.
Leeches.
No, leeches are for like if you've severed a finger and you put it back on, and it's like you want to make sure that the blood vessels start to reattach.
So what do the leeches do?
The leeches like pull blood out, and that like helps with blood flow to the area.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
Surely there's
amazing.
another way.
There isn't, Brady. It's maggots
All
and
right,
leeches.
Off,
Big
off to the
business.
creek you go. Go get some fucking leeches on your fucking disgusting finger. So there's medical leeches, medical grade leeches.
Yes.
And you guys will order them in.
I don't. I'm in emergency.
Okay.
She doesn't do that, Brett. That's the other.
Yeah, but you
that's
know
the
what's
leech
going on
lady.
in the hospital. They order them in. That's weird.
Imagine that's your title. What's your title? I'm the leech lady.
I'm the leech guy. Leech and maggots guy.
Leech and maggots. I look after them. Name them. Put them in the lady's fingers or inside a wound.
If that happened in an Australian hospital, I'd be like, guys, I'm going somewhere else. Are we in a fucking third world? Leeches.
So at the end so if you could compare, because you've obviously had, like you said, that gig sounds like hell.
Yeah.
And then you've had some shifts in nursing that have been quite hellish.
Yeah.
Which one has kept you up longer at night? A bomb or a horrible shift? A comedy bomb or a horrible nursing shift?
Comedy bomb for sure.
Really?
Well, when I had first graduated, I would stay awake at night and and I would have nightmares and stuff. But then, but that goes away as you feel more competent, and that goes away. But yeah, comedy.
You get used to seeing a guy's dick falling off.
Yeah, sometimes you can't find them. Like sometimes in big guys, this is something that I tell people. Okay, so sometimes in big men you can't see their dick. It's kind of like turns into an innie, and so you have to push it down for it to pop up.
Like a trapdoor.
Yeah.
Like you punch them in the gut and their dick springs out.
Yeah,
Jack in the box.
A jack in the box.
Personally, as a nurse, I gently press on either side of And
what
then
do you
pops
need it
up.
for?
Well, to put a catheter
Oh,
in
yeah, okay.
or to
To see.
She's not.
Sometimes
She
you
didn't want
have
to just
to-
have a look and give it a kiss. She's not a fucking pervert.
Yeah.
Nurses also have to clean things, Bron.
Just hose. How do you just hose people down? When my kids are really gross, I'm like, just stand outside. I'll hose you down. Don't want to come in.
Mother of the year again.
Thank you very much.
Get outside. Mum's going to hose you down.
We had kids come over to our house yesterday. Our friends came over, there were 2 sons, and they wanted to do face painting. And so they were out the back face painting, and then they all came in to show us their face paint. And one of the kids, who's 3,
Did
he was
blackface. Inappropriate.
blackface.
What, really?
He
What?
just
I was
blackface.
joking.
He was completely black, and we were all like, "Oh, hello, mate. What's going on here?" And one of the girls was like, "He's Black Panther." And we're like, yeah. Can we wash his? Get the hose. Get the hose.
Yeah.
Get the
Is this kid from Perth by any chance? It's a very. Do you remember that? 'Cause every year book week comes up, and it's still one of my favourite ones ever. A kid in Perth dressed up as Nick Natanui. A black football player, which is funny on so many levels because obviously that's fucked. But Nick Natanui has never been in a book. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, I'm not reading, but I'm coming as my favourite football player. And the mum took a photo and put him on a Facebook. Oh, you can't do anything anymore. What, black up your child? No, you can't.
I wonder what he thought about it. What if he was flattered? What if he was like, that's actually beautiful?
I think they interviewed him about it. He's like, it's not really on, but yeah, it's kind of maybe.
We had lots of kids. It was book week last week, and lots of the kids at school were Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi, the notorious novelist.
No,
No, I know who Lionel Messi is for fuck.
He's actually a soccer
player.
player.
I don't.
Oh, okay, he's a soccer
He's a soccer player. There's so many kids with that. That was
okay.
like, I think it's just because the parents like, you've got that shirt, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. Edie, my middle one, she went as the Joker.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
I'm sure there's a book.
She went as the
With that in
Joker.
it.
Exactly. He's in it somewhere.
Oh, he's in a cartoon. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fine. Anyway, I'll tell you this,
I didn't know your
book week.
daughter was a men's rights activist. It's a very fucking MRA move going as a Joker.
She is absolutely. She had an origin story. You gotta laugh at it. Everyone's got a weird kid. Like my weird kid is the middle one, and she is. She loves it. She leans into it being so strange. She wanted to be the Joker. I was like, okay, fine, you can be the Joker. And I was given a week's notice this year for book week. Usually
That's
they tell me.
generous.
I know. Usually they tell me like the night before. And so my kids always go like in like like sewn together
Guys,
pillowcases.
ghosts again, bed sheets. That's all I got.
But this year I was like, we're going to get this right. I was like, okay, Edie wanted to be the Joker. I was like, that's fine. We got special face paint. She had a purple suit, green tie, green wig. I was like, we're going to nail this. In the morning, I painted her face, and I'd like got up early. I had like the little picture and I was getting it right. Heath Ledger and her. And I was like, this is it. She loved it. She had a giant fake sword for some reason. I don't know if the Joker has it. I've never seen it. I'm not a nerd. Anyway, he
Don't watch that shit.
he
Anyway.
cares. Yeah. And so she went, and she was so excited about being the Joker. She went, and in the afternoon, she came home. She came out of the school, and I was waiting near the playground. I was like, hello, Edie. But she did not look good. She'd wiped all her makeup off. She'd stuck her green wig in her bag. She'd taken her tie off. She looked really upset. I was like, why so serious? And then when she
So you have seen it, you fucking nerd.
I've never seen it. Never. And she said, and I said, what's up? And she was like, it wasn't good, Mum. It wasn't good. The preppies were scared. They cried. I was like, oh, fuck. So she made the preppies cry.
Oh,
And so she was like, I ruined book week. I was like, no.
I reckon
Heath
he made it
Ledger
better.
ruined it. Let's blame him. He can't defend himself.
He's in the grave. Poor
Yeah,
thing.
but
R.I.P.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, I was like, it's not good to be the Joker anyway. They never end well. Anyone
No,
who's the
no one
Joker,
ha-
they
no,
all
yeah.
go a bit weird. They'll end up in the emergency.
Even
Catherine will be looking
the other
after
guy
them.
who's that singer from 30 Seconds to Mars or whatever? He fucking
Jared
Leto
Leto.
played the Joker.
Did he?
And was sending cast members envelopes full of his cum. He's like,
Oh
I'm
my
getting
God.
into character of the Joker. It's like,
Method.
you know what you can just do? You can just fucking do it on the day,
Wow.
I reckon. You don't need to do weird shit a month in advance.
Did he really do that?
Allegedly.
That is allegedly. I was there. I probably received some, but that is yeah. I think that's the role that turns everyone a bit mad, right?
Or do
Anyway,
you think
so I
they're a
probably
bit
shouldn't
mad beforehand?
Oh, what came? I don't know. You're the medical professional, but
Tell
we yeah.
We'll let you solve this.
Like, would you
Yeah.
say Joaquin Phoenix is like totally normal before he was the?
Was he the
This is
Joker
true.
as well?
Yeah, he was the latest Joker.
He was too.
Yeah.
As if I've seen it. I'm not a nerd. I told you that, Brett.
I haven't seen it either, but you know, I'm on socials.
Yeah, just be around, on the ground.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up and love you and leave you. You got anything to plug, Catherine?
Plug comedy. My Instagram shows me where I'm doing comedy.
Right?
Yeah,
Comedy.
Catherine
Just-
McClintock. What's your handle? Catherine McClintock?
At Catherine Kazzy K, CatherineMcClintock.com.
Hell yeah, guys. If you're not on the Patreon, make sure you jump on board. We've got some extra people jumping on last week, which is awesome. We really do appreciate it. And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that boring bullshit on the socials. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you.
I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets.